I think he was prepared good. Usyk was good prepared, and he can beat him more, a lot more.
Where does Oleksandr Usyk rank?
Are you kidding me? He's earned the right to be. He's earned the right to be mentioned with all the top guys. He's one of the great winners of our era.
But what he did have was a level of boxing intelligence that they just simply couldn't do anything about. They couldn't handle it.
Boxers admire Usyk's unmatched skills, incredible movement, and unrelenting stamina. His ability to adapt, control the ring, and execute precise strategies leaves his peers in awe. Many view him as the ultimate challenger in the sport, recognizing his dominance across weight classes and his relentless drive to achieve greatness. When asked about Oleksandr Usyk's place in the boxing hierarchy,
Oleksandr.
I got plenty of them wrong, but you know, that one I felt very strongly about, just like the first time. Usyk knows how to win. He'll find a way to win. He'll find a way to win. And I thought Tyson would be better, and he was better. He was better. And you know what the flag said? Winner. Winner. I know how to win. And that's what he does. He knows how to win.
Teddy, I know you've got a flight to catch, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for your time this week. Actually, Oleksandr Usyk, where does he rank for you now? Where does he rank for you amongst the greats?
Say that again.
Where does Oleksandr Usyk rank?
Are you kidding me? He's earned the right to be. He's earned the right to be mentioned with all the top guys. He's one of the great winners of our era. And you know, the funny thing about him, there's not one thing that you can say, oh my God, he does such so great. He's the greatest puncher. He's fast like Ali. His legs are like, no. But there's not one thing he doesn't do real well. He does everything real well. There's not one weakness. And the most important thing at the end of the day, the strongest part of him all, this.
Heavyweight contender Kuat Pulv kept it simple and direct. Usyk is number one, that's it. These few words encapsulate the growing consensus among fighters and analysts who regard Usyk as the pinnacle of boxing today. Oleksandr Usyk's promoter echoed similar sentiments, praising his fighter for doing exactly what was necessary to achieve victory. He's the best. Man, he did what he was.
Sort of set of circumstances. But much like he has for very long stretches of his career, there are the plans that the people in boxing make around him, and then there is just the wrecking ball that is Oleksandr Usyk, and he shred those plans and never let them come to fruition today with a very, very, very good performance, a elite performance, if ever there was one. I said this, everywhere he has gone, he has done winning an Olympic gold medal, clearing out cruiserweight, and now becoming the guy at heavyweight of his generation. 2 times against Joshua, 2 times against Fury, beating Dubois. He's special in ways that are almost hard to describe. You just won't see boxing talent like this very often. You could watch boxing another 30 years and not necessarily see a guy quite like this. He is one of one, a unique personality, a unique look to him, a unique way of being. Part of a bigger system, obviously, and part of a, as I mentioned before, that the amateur Ukrainian team that he and Lomachenko and Vazdik and others were all part of. But just such
intended to do this statement speaks to the level of preparation, discipline, and execution Usyk brings to each fight. A hallmark of his career, renowned trainer Ben Davidson places Usyk among the all-time greats of the sport, commending his achievements in both the cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions. Davidson's admiration is clear. He puts himself in the mix as one of the greatest heavyweights ever to be. Undisputed in both cruiserweight and heavyweight is amazing. Such accolades highlight Usyk's versatility and dominance across weight classes.
They couldn't handle it. They couldn't deal with it. That's what you got. You just got a guy. He's so impressive. It blows me away. I cannot believe how fucking good he is. It is just remarkable. And so you saw many of the trademarks from the first fight. Lead outside foot positioning, forcing him over to the left side. Getting underneath that jab to go to the body, the stab to the body, the stab to the body. So he brought back some of the hallmarks, the trademarks that worked well the first time that you can build off of, right? It's sort of modular. The first time we'll do these kinds of jabs to the body and then build out from there, different attacks for the first fight. And then in this one, you know, having to go to a separate set of attacks.
Prominent boxing coach Dave Quell weighed in, noting Usyk's unparalleled activity and precision since moving to heavyweight. Coldwell remarked on Usyk's ability to work the body effectively and control the pace of a fight, stating his activity is probably the best since he's been in the heavyweight division this year. Technical prowess has made Usyk a nightmare matchup for even the most seasoned opponents. Legendary ring announcer Michael Buffer likened Usyk to a machine. Lynn, his unrelenting energy and endurance.
Simon Jordan, originally he said he had this fight a draw, and then upon reflection, 5-7 at best. At best. Seriously, mate. And, of course, then he goes on. He's backing a new horse now. He's asked, is Oleksandr Usyk unbeatable? And he says no. I agree. Yeah, look, there's no such thing as an unbeatable fighter. Yes, fighters retire undefeated. Andre Ward, Joe Calzaghe, Floyd Mayweather, Rocky Marciano, Ricardo Lopez, to name a few. They retired undefeated. Were they unbeatable? Marciano was certainly beatable. Jersey Joe Walcott nearly beat him. If it was a 12-rounder, he would have won that fight. It was back in the days of 15 rounds. He got knocked out in the 13th round. Floyd Mayweather, many people feel as though we already should have lost to, was it Jose Luis Castillo?
Buffer described Usyk as having big batteries that never stop attested. To the Ukrainian extraordinary conditioning and mental fortitude, WBO cruiserweight champion Lawrence Okolie also highlighted Usyk's supreme fitness as a key factor in his success. It was a good fight and Usyk won because of his conditioning, Okolie noted, emphasizing the physical ability everyone begins into every bout.
It really is, man. Now, the first thing I've got to say is, why did Tyson Fury lose this? Well, I said in my prediction, there is only one way to beat Oleksandr Usyk. I've been saying the same thing ahead of Anthony Joshua's fights with him, ahead of everyone's fights with him. You've got to fight a kill or be killed fight. And even then, it's not a guaranteed way to beat him. Like, it doesn't mean if you fight kill or be killed, you're going to win. But the point is if you box with that boxer, you will lose. He is the best at that. I said in that first fight, Tyson Fury had good energy and a good moment up to round 7, and at that point his energy started to go, his punches became less effective and he was less of a threat, and Usyk took over. So you need to come into this fight and go in for the kill within those rounds, or you're gonna lose, man. Guaranteed. And I'm not saying like, oh, stick it on him, like as if it's like that simple. You've obviously got to do it responsibly, cleverly, but you've got to force the issue, because this man, he understands the laws of boxing too well. You've got to break the rules in order to beat him, and that requires you to do unorthodox things, to do unpredictable things, and when you do clip him, empty the gas tank and go after him with every last drop of energy you've got. You've got to race him instead of staying with him, because when you try and stay with him, you have to play by the rules, and when you do that, he wins every time.
Veteran boxing analyst Teddy Atlas underlined Usyk's ability to win in any scenario, calling him one of the top fighters of this era. He knows how to win, Atlas remarked, adding that Usyk has, rightfully, earned his place among boxing's elite.
So damn good. Nice. Alright, one thing I love about Usyk, he gets right on his opponents. I love how Usyk answered it. He goes, I'm ready. Your Excellency, Turkey, please make this matchup, right? And I love that he's just, you can tell he's an athlete who just wants to prove that he's the best, right? There is no showboating. There is no trash talking. He's like, yes, we can do it. Well, we'll fight again. And I think after he beats Daniel Dubois, he's already beat Daniel Dubois. He's already beat Anthony Joshua twice. He's already beat Tyson Fury twice. If he beats Daniel Dubois twice, there's nothing left for this man to prove in boxing. I think this man lays the gloves down, walks away from the sport of boxing, spend time with his children, his wife. He mentioned his kids are in judo, and I think it'll be awesome for him to be able to walk away from the sport on top.
This ability to adapt and outthink opponents is what sets Usyk apart in the modern era. Luke Thomas, a prominent combat sports commentator, described Usyk's latest performance as elite, dubbing it one of the best in boxing history.
Had him hurt on a few occasions, but it wasn't like round 9 of the first fight. It wasn't as bad as that. It wasn't as dramatic as that. But I tell you what, the judges, for once in boxing, they got it right. All the experts had Oleksandr Usyk winning 116 to 112. So Usyk 8 rounds to 4 rounds on the side of Fury. And that's not one judge, not 2 judges, but all 3 judges. Even the artificial intelligence judge had it that way, and a lot of the boxing pundits at ringside, they felt the same way as well. So let's talk about the fight. First of all, when Fury took his shirt off, I was a little concerned, okay? As an Englishman, I wish both men the best. But of course, you know, Tyson Fury's flying the flag for the UK. He took the shirt off, and we know he came in 55 pounds heavier than Oleksandr Usyk, and he looked very soft around the midsection. Now, of course, he's performed at a high level throughout the entirety of his career, not exactly looking like a bodybuilder. And because of the extra weight, well, of course, it's going to slow you down, but it's also going to make you gas as the fight progresses. Now, Tyson Fury looked sharp. He looked really good. Both men in the early stages, they went to war. They both promised that. They both said they were going to come out and do some damage, and that's exactly what they delivered.
He's one of one, a unique personality, Thomas said, drawing attention to Usyk's charisma and the intangible qualities that make him a standout figure both inside and outside the ring.